A few years ago, it would just be me and, one or two of my friends. We would hang out occasionally and we'd be drawing comics or drawing whatever. I thought it would be better to set up, just a way for people who are doing this kind of work, who might be doing it totally quietly at home, to just be able to get together in a space and just like do some work and talk about it, discuss what we love and hate about comics, just as a medium. So I actually started it at home here. And so we did it here once a week. And after a while, there were too many bums and not enough seats.
I was working in Ottawa for about 8 years. The animation industry just sort of tanked. Without really having a job in the arts industry, and wasn't really qualified for much else, so ended up having to kind of move home and reboot. Luckily, there was an animation studio that was open in town called Trapeze Animation, and they were doing doodles and some other stuff like that. We did some work with the CBC. So that went for a couple of years, and again, in my spare time, I'd always be working on doing comic books, and until one day I kind of like made comic books the thing I was doing full time. One of the problems that we've sort of slowly overcoming here is building a community for comic artists in PEI. When I first moved back, there wasn't a whole lot going on in that, but now there's been a comic club and people coming out of Holland College who are interested in comic books. So we've sort of been slowly developing a bit of a comic book culture around here, as well as like a network of people who are really into it and professional about working in comics. A lot of our work comes from San Diego or in the States. We can work here and raise a family and have a home, have a yard and things like that, which so many people we know in comic books, they just don't have that luxury. So being a comic artist in PEI is actually ideal.
I started working on My Little Pony back in 2013, and I got the job by submitting a portfolio, really. So I thought, well, I've got an in and I want to work in comics and have comics pay the bills, and I feel My Little Pony is the project that just naturally suits my style best. Working from home, I guess the challenge is the balance, really, is sometimes I work too much and I feel bad because I'm like, I don't spend enough time with my family and I don't do enough of my own, like I don't draw for myself anymore, and I feel like it's hard to kind of practice the things in drawing I want to get better at because I'm so busy just meeting a deadline that sometimes I see other people excelling. I'm like, I wish I could practice and excel too, but I'm sticking to what I know so I can get the job done.
At that stage in the game, I was doing a lot of sci-fi stories and stuff like that. And so my editor sent me a script for me to read and consider. And it was about Men in Black, which was kind of cool because, what's not to like about Men in Black. But it was good, for me it was kind of good because it gave me impetus to keep working on my own stuff, and it really encouraged me that, hey, it doesn't matter where you're located, you can do this for a living. So it didn't make me stop. It made me actually, strive to do even more.
Something I started doing just recently is teaching a little bit. I kind of been putting together just a small curriculum of like exercises for visual development, visual literacy, basically.
You'll write up random sentences, make a comic out of this with 4 panels, or you do a comic just using color shapes, that kind of thing.
It's a great resource for people who are starting out. They don't know where to begin. That's an excellent place to kind of have an intro to that.
Even if you've never drawn in your life, you could go to comic club and write comic books and draw comic books.